This is the only video you will ever need to watch if you need customers for your service business. In this one, I'm literally going to be giving you a free course on the 4 phases of marketing for your business, depending upon where you're at. I'm going to be breaking down all of the best ways to get customers in each phase, along with the best practices for each. And the further along you get into the video, the more advanced the strategies. Now, these are not specific to any particular service. These strategies will actually work for whatever service industry that you're in, whether that be pressure washing, landscaping, lawn care, painting, whatever it is. All that I ask is that you leave a like on this video and a comment if you find it helpful, because I'm literally going to be giving you 5+ years and tens of thousands of dollars worth of learning experience for absolutely free. And then I'm condensing it all so that way you can skip the learning curve and scale the phases as quickly as possible. Now, before we jump into this video, the most important tool every single person who is watching this needs to have is a tool that allows you to keep up with customers, send estimates, invoices, and collect payments. And you can do all of these things for free within Quote IQ, which I'll have as the first link in the comment section and the description. So if you're serious, be sure to download it, because your business will never reach its full potential without this customer information. Trust me, I have lost tons of customers and left thousands of dollars on the table because I was lazy early on in my business with this important information. I didn't keep track of customers. I didn't keep track of how much each customer was paying me. I wasn't able to raise prices year over year, and I wasn't able to recontact customers who I had serviced previously because I wasn't keeping track of them. So first and foremost, we can get all the customers in the world, but if we cannot retain them, what good are they? You need to make it a priority. First link in the comment section description. You can try any tier of Quote IQ for $1 right now. Trust me, you're going to make so much money with this tool, and it's going to help you to stay organized within your business. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into the first phase. The first phase I'm calling sweat equity. This is a time when you have a little bit of money or pretty much no money, and you have a lot of time. So if you find yourself currently in a situation where you have a little money and a lot of time, then you need to be focusing on phase one. Phase one is all about volume. Phase one is all about getting in front of as many people as possible with our time, with our energy. And phase one is really the portion of our business where we have to ask ourselves, how hungry are we? And this is basically where 90% of businesses fail. Okay, this is where they die right here. So the first thing I want to talk to you guys about is flyers. The strategy that I'm about to share with you got me my first 50 jobs. And the reason I want to talk about flyers first is because that's how I ultimately got my start. I would essentially make up these flyers. Any day that I did not have a job, I would hit neighborhood after neighborhood after neighborhood. And I said, I will hit neighborhoods until I get calls and I get jobs. And essentially, I would get a job. I would leverage that job into more jobs with a strategy that I'm going to show you here in a second. But ideally, the mindset that you want to adopt here is I will do it until. So with regards to flyers, with regards to passing out flyers, I would simply put them on mailboxes. Like I said, I would walk neighborhoods. You could, put them in between doors, whatever the case may be. Just get them in a place where the homeowner is going to find them and it's going to open them up. Now, it's not enough to just do flyers. We need to do flyers correctly. And what I'm about to walk you through is the 5 keys to a successful advertisement. And this is going to be pretty much throughout the entire video. Everything is going to reflect back on this. So you really kind of need to use this as the guiding principle for everything that you're doing within your marketing. And if you guys want to get my exact flyer strategy, I'll leave a link for it in the comment section and the description. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm going to break down why all of these different aspects make it work. And if you just want to copy and paste, you can get mine in the comment section and the description. The first thing that we need is social proofing. So one of the things that I included on my flyer is right at the top, it says, we just did your neighbor's house. Social proofing is incredibly important because it lets the homeowner know that this is a business that I can trust. They're obviously doing other work in the neighborhood, and this is something that I need to pay attention to. So we're going to grab their attention with something that lowers the guard and builds social proof with them. Something like we just did your neighbor's house. Another important facet of your flyer is the before and after pictures. I like to have before and after pictures of different services. On my particular flyer, I have house wash, roof wash, and driveway cleaning, and I have wonderful before and after pictures for each one of those services. The biggest thing with regards to these pictures is the starker the contrast, the better. Essentially, what we're doing with our before and after pictures is we're selling the service. We're selling the customer on the outcome that they can expect for their home. So by utilizing a photo with really stark before and afters, they can really see the transformation and they can envision their home going through a similar transformation. The next thing that we need is a way to contact. Now, a big mistake that a lot of people make on their flyers is they offer too many ways to contact. They'll have the phone number on there, they'll have the email on there, they'll have the website on there, they'll have the Facebook page on there. When you give customers too many options, they make no choices. So with regards to the contact methods that I put on my own personal flyer, all I have is a phone number. Because at the end of the day, that's the only way that I want someone to contact me. When you think about a website, think about all the different steps that people would have to go through to get to a website from a flyer. They'd have to see your flyer. They'd have to go sit down at the computer, pop out their phone. They'd have to copy the URL in exactly. They would have to go to your website. Then they would have to find the contact me or the form fill out or whatever the case may be. And they might get lost on the page. They might get a notification. There's just so many different things that can happen between them being like, oh, I'd like to contact this business for their services, and them actually being able to perform that action, because there's so many other things that can go wrong. So I like to stick to one way to contact on my flyer, and I usually do that through a phone number because that's the easiest way for a customer to contact me directly, for me to, get a quote for them, and for me to book the job after that. The next thing that you're going to need is a call to action. And this is probably the most important thing on the flyer, right? So my particular flyer says something to the effect of call today for 15% off of your first service. You want to basically give them a reason to act, okay? Because at the end of the day, we are interrupting them with this. We're interrupting their day. They're coming home from work. They're looking at it. And if there's no reason for them to act right now, if there's no savings for taking an action, then they're just going to throw it up on the counter, or they're going to throw it in the trash can, and they're going to forget about it. And, they might have needed your service, but they're not going to take action because they weren't incentivized. So we need to make sure that every single piece of marketing material that we put out has a call to action. It has an incentive to act now. So call today for 15% off your first service, or whatever the case may be. Make the call to action whatever you'd like, but give them a reason to call now. And then last but not least, another key element of a successful ad is it needs to look professional. Okay, so with regards to my own flyer strategy, these flyers look very professional. They look like they were designed by a professional company. They look like, when they give me a call, I'm going to show up and be a professional company and do a good job. And that's really what you want. If it looks like something that you made on your computer and you printed at home, people are going to throw it away and not call you. And that's why I put together this list of the 5 key components that you need for your marketing. Because if you're missing these things, if you're missing the social proof, if you're missing the before and afters with your different services, if you're offering too many ways to contact, if you don't have any call to action or giving them any reason to purchase your service immediately, if they don't look professional, you will not get calls. As many flyers as you pass out, you could pass out 1,000,000 flyers and you might get a few calls, but at the end of the day, we want to stack the odds in our favor. And the way we can do that is by sticking to the 5 key elements of a successful advertisement and utilizing those within our flyer. So be sure to put all of these things within your flyer. Like I said, if you just want to use my flyer template, I'll have a link down below, so that way you can just get that, plug and play, and you're good to go. So I got my first 50 jobs off of flyers. That was the way that I really tried to maximize my business early on. Like I said, I would hit as many neighborhoods as I need to until jobs started to come in. Another way that you can go is door hangers. They're pretty much the same as flyers. They're just more condensed. So if you want to go the door hanger route, go the door hanger route. You can also go business cards. With business cards, you probably want to stick to the 5 key elements that we just spoke about. You want to try to incorporate as many elements as possible. The difference between a flyer, a door hanger, and a business card is the flyer is the biggest thing. And at the end of the day, I want the biggest thing to be in someone's house. Okay, a business card is something that I could tuck in my pocket, forget about, and throw in the trash can. A door hanger, I might be able to fit that in my pocket as well. But a flyer, that's like a big sheet of paper, and you cannot put that in your pocket. If it's up on the counter, you're gonna notice it. And so that's why I predominantly stuck with flyers, because they're the biggest thing. They take up the most space, and therefore they're the hardest to ignore when it comes down to different types of print marketing. With that said, you can go any direction you want. The next one I want to get into is yard signs. I have friends that have had tremendous success with yard signs. My buddy Mike actually landed like $100,000 military cleaning off of a yard sign. A couple of key components you need to take from this video and utilize them within your yard sign strategy is the simpler, the better. You want to stick to having the service as big as possible at the top of it, and then a phone number that they can contact at the bottom of it. And that's pretty much it. You want to stick to colors that contrast very well. So you could do like a red lettering on a white background, or a black lettering on a white background, because you really want it to pop. A big mistake that a lot of people make is trying to put too much information on a yard sign, and then people pass by, they can't grasp it quick enough, and that's it. They just pass by and they never take any action on it. So big letters with your service, big number, and that's pretty much all you need. Another thing that you can do is you can utilize the call team that we built within Quote IQ. It's a virtual call team for your call tracking, as well as so that way you don't have to put your real business number on any of the signs. So if you guys want to check out the Quote IQ call team, I'll leave it linked in the comment section description below. But essentially, the call team answers every single call for you. They run a script, so they get the customer's name, customer's number, customer's address, the reason that they're calling, as well as what services that they were interested in, and also a few other questions. But then you get a notification that that person called. You get all that pertinent information. So with regards to something like yard signs, you can pretty much screen out anybody that's not serious because they're not going to take the time to answer all of those different questions. And any customer that does take the time to answer all those questions, you can know that that's a serious customer. The other thing is with yard signs, people get themselves into trouble because they'll get a call from like the city, and the city wants them to pull it up, and they're like, hey, we'll find your business and we'll do all this other stuff. So you can simply avoid that by keeping your signs vague and by using a number maybe that's not related to your direct business line, as well as by having a call team so that way they can screen out any calls that come through. And also with the call team, you can track every single call that comes through so you can know how well your signs are actually doing and how many calls are coming in. Another beautiful thing about the call team is it tracks every single call that comes in for the month. You can have multiple numbers. And like I said, it just is an easy way for you to bring in new business without having to interrupt your day, without having to screen every call, without having to waste your time with solicitors and all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, check out the call team. It'll be linked in the comment section and the description. But that was pretty much it for yard signs. Like I said, I have friends that have made tons and tons of money with yard signs. The last thing I want to mention with regards to those is obviously just make sure that you're placing them in areas with high traffic. And if you're able to place them as well in places that are hard to, remove, that's even better. I've seen people that have placed theirs like up poles that, are pretty much impossible to remove. And when you do stuff like that, you pretty much ensure that it's going to stay up there for as long as possible. The thing with yard signs and like all these other tactics is like I said, it's a volume game. You want to pass out as many as possible, and you want to maybe replace them whenever they do get taken up eventually. So that's yard signs. The next one I want to go into is door knocking. I don't particularly like door knocking just because I don't like people coming to my door to solicit me for business. And therefore, I wouldn't want to use it as a strategy to get business from other people. However, as you guys have probably seen on the internet, there's a lot of people that do really well with door knocking. And if that's something that you like to take advantage of, then let's talk through a few ways that you can utilize it to the best of its ability. The script for door knocking should be very similar to the strategy that I mentioned with the flyers, right? First and foremost, we want to lead with social proof. Hey, we were in the neighborhood. Have you seen us around? We've been doing this work for some of your neighbors. The next thing you want to lean into is that, we're doing work in the neighborhood, and you want to give them a call to action into that. Since we're here, we're going to be doing a discount for people that either get on the schedule today, get the service done today, whatever the case may be. And of course, if they say no, or if they say, let me get back to you, you want to give them one way to contact you, obviously. So I'd, give them your phone number. And if for whatever reason they say, hey, we're not interested, you just leave them with the flyer and say, if anything were to change in the future, feel free to give us a call. So door knocking is essentially the same thing. We want a social proof from the beginning. We want to talk about how we're doing work. We want to have a call to action. We want to offer a discount if they take advantage today. We want to give them a way to contact us, and we want to leave them with something that, they could potentially call us with in the future. So door knocking is great if you're willing to have a lot of no's and have a lot of doors slammed in your face and kind of go through it. But I know a lot of guys who, have been down on their luck. They went door knocking, and it's a quick way to kind of get business because obviously you're getting in front of people and you're making them say no on the spot. So that's why door knocking is a pretty effective way to get new customers. Another one is asking for referrals. We actually had a guy in our inner circle that did $15,000 in extra quotes in a week because after every single job, he asked the homeowner or the person that he did the job for, hey, do you know anybody else who could, benefit from this service? And he got tons of referrals and he did tons of quotes. And it was kind of a challenge that he gave himself for a week. So I would implore you after this video, if you want to start taking actions that are going to move you, towards your goal, towards making more money, give yourself the challenge of every single job that you do for the rest of the month, you're going to ask that person to give you a referral to somebody else that might need that service, and then see what happens, right? You might be surprised. You might end up doing more work from referrals than what you were doing from jobs just coming into your business. So giving yourself little challenges are a great way to get yourself out of your comfort zone and to bring in more customers into your business because you're trying new things. Okay. So make sure that you don't just listen to this whole video and then you go out there and do nothing. I challenge you after this video to go out and ask every single customer that you do a job for a referral, and then come back and let me know how well you did. Because I guarantee you're going to do pretty good. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, one of the things that I utilized in the beginning of my business was flyers. Once I would get a job with a flyer, I would then try to utilize neighborhood Facebook groups. Okay. So if you guys are doing work for people, you're asking for, hey, do you have anybody you could refer me to after the job? And if they say no, or if they give you somebody, you can always say, hey, would you mind posting me in the neighborhood Facebook group? Because if you could, it would really help me out. And I got a ton of jobs like this. Like I would literally pass out flyers to a whole neighborhood, once, twice, and I would get one customer out of that. And then I would say, hey, would you mind posting me to the neighborhood Facebook group? And they would say, yeah, absolutely. And then from that, I would get 9 jobs off of that just because of the word of mouth from one person in the neighborhood saying, hey, this guy does good work, you know, hire him to pressure wash your house. And it just really worked out well for me. So either ask for referrals or ask, to be placed in the neighborhood Facebook group. Or if you want to do both, you can get probably twice as good of results. The next thing you can do is you can post yourself into groups. My brother actually got his first $10,000 in jobs just by posting every single day, sometimes 2 and 3 times a day into Facebook groups and into Nextdoor with a lot of the strategies that we talked about within that flyer strategy. And he was able to get calls. He was able to do quotes. He was able to do all kind of stuff just because he was utilizing free Facebook groups and soliciting his services in there. So if you're somebody who has plenty of time on their hands, you want to be lazy, you don't want to pass off flyers, post in Facebook groups every single day and be relentless with it. And I guarantee you're going to find some people that want your service. And if you don't, then you probably need to change up whatever services that you're offering. So that was everything within phase 1. Like I said, the biggest thing with regards to phase 1 is it's sweat equity. We don't have a lot of money, so we need to make up for the amount of money that we have by utilizing sweat equity and going volume, getting in front of people for as little money as possible. And we can do that with flyers, door hangers, yard signs, door knocking, asking for referrals, getting posted in Facebook groups, and posting ourselves into groups. So that was phase 1. If you guys enjoyed that and you haven't hit the thumbs up already, hit the thumbs up button for me, and let's go ahead and jump into phase 2. Now, phase 2 is all about leverage, okay? So once we have some money on our side, then we can deploy that money into ads in order to scale. There's no better way to scale your company than with ads, because ads do not rely on your sweat equity. They don't rely on your time. They only rely on your money. They can run 24/7 hours a day. They can be targeted to whatever audience that you want to target it to in order to make the most amount of money. And as long as you attach it to something in your business that scales, then you can pretty much scale it into infinity. The problem that a lot of people get into with phase 2 is they say, I spent $400 and we didn't get any return on it, so I'm never going to spend money on ads again. If you're spending money in the wrong way, you're not going to return a result. Just like we talked about with the flyers, if you're making bad flyers and passing them out, you're not going to get a result. So step 1 is to obviously learn what works best. But step 2 is to attach it to something that's always growing. So if we say, hey, we're going to take 5% of every dollar that we make. We're going to take 5 cents off of every dollar and we're going to throw it back into advertising, or we're going to take 10 cents or 15 cents, whatever the case may be, and we're going to throw it back into ads so that way we can really scale this thing without me having to go out and pass out flyers and knock doors and do this whole thing. Then that's going to be the best way to go, because whether you get jobs or not, the rule is already baked in. It's just like taxes. At the end of the year, Uncle Sam's going to come for his cut. So you have to put his cut aside every single time that you're getting paid. Same thing with your advertisement. Look at it as you are going to scale this thing. And so we're going to put a percentage of earned income into this machine called ads. And hopefully it's going to return more money than what we put in. So that way, the more money we make, the more jobs we get, and the more we can pretty much scale infinitely. So the limit in phase 1 is your time, and the limit in phase 2 is your money. So be sure, like I said, to attach the money to something that scales. Create rules for yourself. Guys, discipline is the way that you are going to grow your business and you're going to scale. So if you're not willing to be disciplined with certain things, like how much money you're putting into ads every single month and actually growing that, then you're not going to see results that you want, because you're not being disciplined. If you're not disciplined enough to put your customers into something that can keep track of them, if you're not disciplined enough to send your estimates and your invoicing through there so that way you're always keeping track of how much money is going in, how much money is going out, if you're not tracking your expenses, like all of this stuff, if you want to be successful, you have to get disciplined. You have to become process oriented. With that being said, let's jump into phase 2. The first marketing channel I want to talk about with regards to phase 2 is Facebook ads. I have an entire training just on Facebook ads and a particular ad breakdown that I did of an ad that landed us over $13,000 in jobs. I'll leave that linked up in the comment section description. It's absolutely free. I break down the video ad that landed us over $13,000 in jobs, so that way all you got to do is copy it. So I'm only going to mention a couple things with regards to Facebook just because I've done free stuff already covering that. And I'd like for you guys to go check it out there just to kind of save us some time on this video. But video is better than pictures, right? There's a reason why you've been listening to me for this long, because it's a video. It's not an Instagram picture. On a picture, you take 5 seconds. On a video, you really pay attention because there's things being said, there's footage being rolled. There's just a lot more elements to it that are intriguing that pull your attention. So video ads are better than picture ads. Also, not everybody can make a video ad. It actually takes skill and it takes talent and it takes knowing how to edit and do voiceovers and all kind of stuff in order to make video. Anybody can take a couple pictures and run ads with them. So with regards to Facebook ads, unfortunately, it is more competitive than it used to be. I used to be able to run out $30 in ad spend and pick up 3 different jobs. Nowadays, you have to run significantly more amount of money in there because there's a lot more people advertising on Facebook. But the good thing is if you're good at it, then you give yourself a competitive advantage and it makes it harder for other people to enter. So what seems like something that might be bad in the first place is actually going to turn out to be a good thing. So follow the rules of Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn used to always say, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. The good thing is that it's hard. So there's a lot of people that won't even mess with it because it's difficult. So if you guys want to get my Facebook ads training, how we landed $13,000 with a video ad, check it out, linked in the comment section and the description. Now, all the same rules apply. Everything that worked with the flyer is going to work with the Facebook ads. You just have to put it into a video form, social proof with jobs and photos, show the results, give them a way to contact, and then give them a reason to reach out to you immediately. And if you guys want a leg up on your competition, be sure to check out the training. Underneath the training, we actually have video ad templates that you can purchase and you can utilize them immediately. We have the B-roll, we have the before and afters, we have the voiceovers behind those. So that way, all you got to do is put your business information in there and you pretty much get a solid Facebook ad out of it. So if you guys want to check that out, check it out in the comment section description. Also, if you get one of those ads, then you're actually going to get some more secrets from me with regards to Facebook. I go into everything that I do on the back end of those ads, how I set them up, how I run the targeting on them, and just kind of how I maximize with regards to Facebook ads. But that's everything that I want to say with regards to Facebook ads. Focus on videos over photos, and then focus on all of the elements that make the flyer successful, and you'll give yourself the best potential for getting jobs. The next marketing channel that I want to talk a little bit about is Google Ads. This is something that we go super deep in the local domination course. Obviously, this is a short video, so I'm not going to be able to show you guys how to run Google Ads. But if you get good at it, you will be pretty much unstoppable. Okay. So if you guys want to check out the local domination course, it's basically the blueprint for how we land monster jobs, how we get in front of big customers, big companies. I mean, we land residential jobs with this, but I would say the highest use of the local domination 2 course is getting in front of some of these big commercial properties. So if you feel like you're ready for that, definitely check out local domination 2. And if you want to just get cutting edge and you want to get advanced training on Google Ads, be sure to check it out as well. A good way to dip your toe in with regards to Google Ads, though, is local service ads. If they have them for your particular service, they don't have them for every single service. But for pressure washing, we've landed good jobs from them. We've landed tons of jobs from them. And you only pay when you get a call. So that's another good thing. It's a pay per call. So it's supposed to be high qualified customers, and it's another way to do Google Ads. Now, I have a really sneaky trick for ranking at the top of local service ads, but it's something that I don't really feel comfortable talking about on YouTube. So if you're interested in that, DM me on Instagram. I can't give it away for free because it's like really good stuff and can't have everybody doing it. The thing about local service ads is like there's a lot of people that are in local service ads. So you really kind of have to find a loophole to give yourself a bit of a competitive advantage in there, if you will. Now, I'm not saying every company's in there, but there are a lot of companies. So if you want to dip your toe in the water, check out local service ads. But essentially, Google Ads are a little bit better, in my opinion, because there are people searching for certain keywords of services that you offer, and then we can pay Google to pop up at the top when those keywords are searched. Now, it's a lot more complicated than that, and you can waste a ton of money. Trust me, we have wasted a ton of money if you don't know what you're doing. But whoever's at the top pretty much wins. And that's the beautiful thing about Google Ads. It's paying to place us at the top. And if you want an easy way to do it, like I said, local service ads, you can rank at the top. You'll just be in all the other local service ads grouping. So that's pretty much the ads scaling. I would say to implement a mix of all of these. Facebook ads are good. Google local service ads are better. Google ads are best. So, prioritize your ad spend as you will. I would probably push most of it to Google ads, but if you're somebody who doesn't know how to run Google ads, Facebook ads are a lot easier to get your foot in the door and get into while you're kind of learning the Google ads platform. But that is essentially phase two, and that is our leverage money phase. Phase three is going to be our free lead flow from Google machine. Okay. So essentially, a lot of people that have been in business for a long time have learned to generate a lot of free leads on Google. And that's what we're going to be talking about in phase three. So phase one was leveraging sweat equity. Phase two is leveraging money. Essentially, if we make it to phase three and we have a good foothold within Google, we can get free leads from Google. Okay. Free leads from interested prospects that are actively searching out our company. So this is almost the peak. I'm going to tell you guys, obviously phase four is going to be the pinnacle of where you want to go, but phase three is incredible, right? So first and foremost, you want to make sure you have a GMB listing. They have made it harder to have a GMB listing nowadays than they ever have, because there's more people getting into it now than ever before, and they have more things in place to make sure that people aren't abusing the system, if you will. So it's a little bit more difficult, but if you're persistent, you will get in. I will say that it probably took me 3 months, I would say, in order to get my GMB up, maybe 4. And as soon as I got it up, it immediately got banned. And I had to figure out how to get it unbanned. And so that was an entire process. But the thing is that it's so powerful that once you get it done, it's done. For me, I waited so long to get on GMB. It's pretty much embarrassing how long I waited. And I've been on for a few years now, which is, incredible. And we're actually ranking towards the top. But essentially, the way to rank towards the top and the way to get these free calls from Google is you want to be the most reviewed person. The most reviewed company wins the day, okay? You have to think from how you shop on Amazon. You have to think from how you shop for anything on the internet. What do? You find the best product with the best reviews, and that's the one you go with. That's why we put the review multiplier within Quote IQ, and it's a free feature that you guys can utilize. Just go in the settings, find a review multiplier. But basically what it does is after every invoice is paid, it redirects that person right to your Google link as if it was a part of the process, because the more reviews you get, the better the chance you have of getting the call. So with regards to this, instead of you doing the job, getting paid, texting them a link, they have to remember to click through on the link and write in their review. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever tried to get reviews before, but it is an absolute pain. So what we did was we tried to make it a part of the transaction. So once they paid, we redirect them to the review link, and then they can leave a review, and it feels like a seamless part of the process. And we get guys messaging us all the time, thanking us because they get more reviews for free. And that's what ultimately helps them to build their business, because whoever has the most reviews wins, at least with residential. Okay. From my own personal experience, you can still give yourself a chance if you rank in the top 3, if you have within the top 3 reviews, because commercial properties, commercial facilities, they typically call at least 3 people because they need 3 bids in order to make a purchasing decision. So that's a beautiful thing. As you're building up your reviews, focus first on the top 3 so you can start getting those commercial calls, and then focus on being top 1, because that's how consumers make their purchasing decisions. Consumers pick top 1, commercial picks top 3. Now, we go deep into optimizing GMB in that local domination course, which I highly recommend if you're serious, if you're somebody who wants to take this serious, if you're somebody who wants to make 100, 200, 300 grand a year. That's the direction you need to go. Check out Local Dom. It's severely underpriced for the value. If you guys are getting a ton of value out of this video, you can only imagine how valuable local domination is. So I can't recommend it enough. Be sure to check it out. Links in the comment section description. But the last part of the free lead flow from the Google machine is going to be a website. Mike's website has been around for 20 plus years. He gets more leads from his website than anybody I've ever seen before. I'm talking about this guy's InstaQuote notifications are out the wazoo every single day. He's getting 5, 6, 7 people quoting themselves on his site. And if you build it right, you can get all of this organic lead flow onto your website. You can get those people to fill out form requests, or you can get those people to quote themselves using a tool like InstaQuote, which you can try for $1 at myquoteiq.com, linked below. But essentially, you need to have a good website. You need to have a good website builder if you want to take advantage of phase 3, taking advantage of the Google machine. And I highly recommend Footbridge. I'll leave a link for them down below. They do great work. They actually do my site. They do Aaron's site. They do a ton of guys' site that we've done coaching for before. So if you want to take advantage of the Google machine, be sure to get a good website. The biggest thing to keep in mind with phase 3 as it relates to phase 1 and 2 is phase 3 is going to take you a little bit more time, obviously, to build that presence, with your website, with your GMB, to start driving a lot of those organic leads. And phase 1 and 2 is kind of a way to shortcut that a bit. Now let's go ahead and get into phase 4. And for me, this is the most important phase. And this is servicing your customers forever. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, these customers that we're bringing in are practically worthless if you're judging them from the perspective of, I'm going to do a job once for them, and then I'm going to go find more customers later. Because every single customer that we get, if we can hold on to and we can increase the lifetime value of that customer, we can service them year over year, we are going to make so much more money that way. That's why I said having a tool like QuotaQ, having a way to keep track of customers, send estimates, invoices, collect payments, doing all that stuff is paramount, because it allows you to keep track of every single customer that comes in. It allows you to keep track of every single job that you do, every single estimate that you write, every single invoice you do, all the services that you did for those customers, and it allows you to reservice them year over year. So a couple of the tools that you can utilize within phase 4 is going to be your email automation. And within QuotaQ, we actually give you Mike's entire email sequence. So that way you can follow up with these people. Let's say you do a job, you get paid through QuotaQ. 11 months after that invoice is paid, you can follow up with a, hey, want to get on the schedule again? It's been about a year since your last service. And it's something that's done automatically that you're not having to think about. That's why email automation is really, really powerful, because you're not having to think about it in order for it to deliver results for you. So having something in place that reminds your customer when it's time to get reserviced is going to allow them to come back into your funnel before they look up a new company, and it's going to allow you to reservice them and continue to make money with them and providing value for them. The next thing you can utilize within phase 4 is going to be email and text blasts. If you get slow during the winter, if you slow down anytime during the year, if you offer new services, you really need a way to get out in front of everybody who you've built rapport with, built trust with, done jobs with in the past, again with a new offer. Like for example, Mike offered some Christmas lighting this year. He sent out an email to his entire list, and it turned into like 30 grand worth of work, worth of Christmas lighting, because he had all of his customers in one database. He sent an email, he did quotes, he did jobs, and he was able to service those customers. And he created $30,000 out of thin air that he had never had before, because his company offered a new service that they had never offered before. And I think he even referred that out. It wasn't even his company. He just got a percentage of the jobs that he referred out to another company. But his ability to send out an email to every single customer that he's ever serviced and say, hey, this is a new service that we're offering, are you interested? Ended up turning into $30,000. So how much money are you leaving on the table by not doing email, text, blast? How much money are you leaving on the table by not reservicing these customers, by letting them go to the wayside, by letting them go back to Google and potentially find a different company? So if you can take advantage of these things, you don't have to spend more money to acquire customers if you just keep them. It's way more expensive to spend more money to acquire them than just to keep them in general. So that is phase 4, basically reservicing and keeping your current client base, because it's kind of like a penny saved is a penny earned. If you can keep a customer, you don't need to find another one, and therefore you don't need to put in the sweat equity, the money, or the effort to get in front of another customer if you can maintain a relationship with an existing one. Either that, or if you built a book of business for an entire year, you could dump off any customers that were cheap or were price shoppers or whatever the case may be, and just add in better customers. So it gives you more choice and more options as a service provider whenever you can put yourself in a position of abundance, rather than coming from a position of, oh, I need more work, I need more people to want my service. So those were the 4 phases of successful marketing. If you can blend all 4 phases, you will be absolutely unstoppable. If I missed anything in this video, please let me know down in the comment section below. The word of the day for anybody who made it this far in the video is going to be your favorite color. I really want to throw people off when they rewatch this, and that way they can be like, what are all these colors in the comment section for? So if you comment down below your favorite color in the comment section, I'll hashtag you a real one. All the resources that I mentioned in this video will be in the comment section and the description, so be sure to check those out. But comment down the word of the day. I'll hashtag you a real one. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. And until next time, hustle hard, get that money, baby. Peace.